All right, so obviously, we're going to be asking you questions. I am going to be Mirandizing you, but it isn't. This is just for formality purpose. It's not necessarily you being looked into per se. But obviously, we are looking into a death of an officer, the death of an officer, right? It has to be taken seriously. Sure, you understand that it's one of your own.
Yeah,
Obviously, I am going to read you Miranda rights. You can elect to have a lawyer or not. Obviously, there will be a recording device here that you can have a copy of. Uh, if you so choose to have it. Okay? Yeah?
I don't need anybody.
Okay, alright. Well, I'm going to turn the recording device on. Okay. The date and the time is the 10th of September 2024. The time is 1900 UTC. I am Marshal Gallagher, and I am joined by Lieutenant Vic Hannah. And this time I'm going to be reading your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in a court of law. If you require an attorney, one will be provided by the state of San Andreas if available. Do you understand your Miranda rights as I read them to you today?
Yeah, I understand him.
With that being said, would you like an attorney or would you like to speak to us freely?
No, speak freely.
Okay. All right. So we would like to question you today on the death of Officer Ploddington, is it?
Is this about Plod or Blackwell?
Plod. Be about Plod. Right. So obviously, it's Bobby Plod. Right? You aware of Officer Bobby Plod? Did you know him?
Yeah, I'm aware
Okay.
of Officer Bobby Plod. He was a top 5 officer for sure. Maybe even higher.
All right. So obviously, were you aware of Incident 9307?
Is that the penumbra one?
That's the number one, yes.
I'm aware of it, but I haven't combed through it enough yet. I'm doing that later today.
Okay. How and when were you involved at all in the incident itself?
No,
Okay. How were you made aware of the incident?
I was informed about the death of an officer, and then after the investigation was started to take place, I was then aware of the penumbra incident.
Okay. Is this an internal investigation by the police department?
Yes.
Um. Okay. Uh, can you describe how what actions you took after finding out about this incident?
Securing the evidence on the scene, securing the artifacts belonging to Bobby Plod, and doing a VR recreation of the scene.
So, to your knowledge, no evidence collection was done by the officers involved in the situation.
None.
Okay. Um. Okay.
The incident locker for 9307, which is the penumbra incident, is empty. There's nothing logged in evidence. Not a thing.
Okay. Um. Are you aware of when the officer was declared dead?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know when exactly that was?
I was at MRPD and a 311 went out saying that Bobby Plod was dead.
Okay. Are you aware whether this was at the hospital or on scene?
Believe he was declared dead at the hospital as I saw a bunch of units gathered there. I don't remember the direct message though.
Okay. That's fair enough. So, obviously you stated you went to go collect evidence. Is that correct?
I went to go assist the chief and ask chief collect evidence.
Okay. Uh, Obviously we've seen the evidence, right? And we can see that there are casings and projectiles in the statements. It says that by Adam Pike, as an example, a suspect pulled out knuckle dusters and I believe started swinging. And then that led to officers raising escalation force and discharging the firearms. Obviously, I believe that at least an officer was struck, and then obviously the suspect was
We can't be sure what happened on that scene.
because of the evidence.
Judging by the evidence that we collected, or that I should say was collected, by the chief and the assistant chief, it looks a little different than what is being said, which is why officers need to be re-interviewed on the situation, because the only things that could be located is a couple pools of blood, 2 casings, 1 projectile. That's it. That's all that can be found on that entire scene. I was made aware of something that he was shot in the water or something like that. There's no other casings around. There's no nothing. There's only 1 projectile on scene, and it comes back to Cletus Cornwood's firearm. And it looks like the fragmentation took place at about head level, where Bobby Plod was directly next to him. It almost looks like an execution, but I can't be too sure. I mean, we're still looking into it. We got to re-interview all the officers that were there.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Okay, so you are aware of at least an attempt to collect evidence in the water and the surrounding area.
Yeah, I mean, the chief and ass chief were there, and then me and the ass chief were there for an hour trying to locate something. We were there trying to locate evidence. We couldn't find nothing. All right, because it looks like there's 2 casings. 1 comes back to Plod's gun. 1 comes back to Cornwood's. Cornwood's projectile was also found on the scene where Bobby Plod was shot. That we believe. We have to re-interview officers. And there's so the casing from Plod's gun. We couldn't locate the projectile. If people shot into the water or were in the water, it's all washed away. All we have is what we have.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Anna, do you have any further questions for Lieutenant Hannah?
Did you mention where the suspect was shot?
Know where I do not know 100% where the suspect was shot, but I know where Plod was shot.
Yeah, we have that information. Okay, that's it.
All right. The time is going to be.
Are we going to talk about the Dana Blackwell stuff too?
We'll save that for another recording. Okay, I don't want to get
because that shit's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
And these BCSO guys don't give a shit about it.
I'm gonna end the recording here on this one. Okay, right.